Hello, Camp Humphreys. This is Pastor Fulmer with New Testament Christian Church. And today I just wanted to bring a quick video to you in light of everything that we've been facing and the news we've been receiving regarding the increase in the COVID cases here in the Camp Humphreys area. As many of you probably know by now, Garrison Commander Colonel Graves and Command Sergeant Major Lemon recently put out a video about the increase in cases. As a matter of fact, they said it was the most number of cases all at one time since the beginning of the pandemic. And if you're like me and you've been here long enough to remember the beginning of the pandemic, you remember all of the lockdowns and all of the restrictions and everything that went down during the time when Colonel Trumbull was here, and now over into Colonel Graves' command. And to hear this news, to say it's disappointing, but as I was thinking and praying about how to continue to connect with our community, because, God forbid with these increase of cases will also come more gathering restrictions and lockdowns and all of that. We hope it doesn't, but we're preparing for it. But as I was thinking about ways to connect with our community, just in case that does happen, the concept of videos about faith and looking beyond our current situation and then 5-minute faith started coming to my mind. And so that's why I'm bringing you today's 5-minute faith video. And with the help of the Lord, I intend to make these videos maybe twice a week and post them from my pastoral blog, pastorfulmer.com, over to our church Facebook page. Now, the reason I'm using my pastor's blog is because it's easier to put the outlines that you can read along with if you'd like. It's easier to put all of that in one place on a blog than to copy and paste it into Facebook. And so if you'd like to read along with us in today's video, we'll be reading from Hebrews 11, verses 1 through 3. You can again follow the link from Facebook over to my pastor's blog, and there you can read along with today's video. But today's 5-minute faith video, that's the reason that I am bringing this video, so that we can connect. Because given the probable gathering restrictions, we won't be able to connect as well in person. But if we can connect on social media and stay connected as a community, I believe that we'll get through this together. So our title for today's 5-minute faith video is Faith That Sees Beyond. And we're going to read from Hebrews chapter 11, verses 1 through 3, and I hope you're there by now. He says there, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by faith, the elders obtained a good report. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are not seen, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear." Now, in these verses, the author, Paul, establishes a very concise and strong definition of the kind of faith that pleases God. He points out that this kind of faith is not only pleasing to God, but it enables us to see beyond our current situation to something better that awaits us. And that's what we're talking about today in today's 5-minute faith video. Faith that sees beyond. Now, in this time, here in the Camp Humphreys area, we need this kind of faith to be able to do that. Because the whole world's been battling this situation now for a couple of years, and to hear these reports coming out doesn't make you really feel confident that the future looks bright. But with faith that sees beyond, we can say the future's always bright because the God who holds the future is in our lives. So in verse number 1, he tells us that this faith that sees beyond is substance and evidence. Substance in the Greek there means assurance, and evidence means conviction. Faith that sees beyond has assurance that there's something better beyond this situation and a conviction that it is true. Where does this conviction come from? It comes from the fact that our hope is not only in this life alone, but in the eternal God who gives us hope. In the eternal God who gives us hope. And so the first thing I want to bring out to you is that let us seek faith that has assurance and conviction that sees beyond our current situation. See, a lot of people will be brought down in disappointment by the recent news. But those of us who are seeking faith will have this faith, this assurance, this confidence that things will get better. Verse number 2, he tells us that those who came before us also had this faith that sees beyond. And because of that, they did get great things in this life. We now look back on their lives, and that's what Hebrews chapter 11 is really about. We now look back on their lives with admiration. But they didn't let their very difficult situations stop them from having faith that sees beyond. They didn't let their current situation dissuade them from looking beyond their current situation. And that's what I'd like to encourage you to do today. And also, finally, in verse number 3, he tells us that this faith that sees beyond recognizes that everything around us was created by the Word of God. Was created by the Word of God. And that if that great God could create the whole universe and everything that therein is, then can he not also create a better future with just a spoken word for those who have this kind of faith that sees beyond? And so I'd like to encourage you today as I come to a close on this 5-minute faith video that's now going to 7 minutes. Have faith that things can and will get better. That as we do our part and we walk through this time together as a community, that things will get better. If this video has brought value to your life and has encouraged you to have this kind of faith, then it would mean a lot to us if you would share it out to all your social media sites so that other people could also learn how to have faith that sees beyond. And we'll see you in the next episode. God bless you. Keep that faith that sees beyond, and things will get a lot better. God bless you.